So it's like a job interview to acquire a project over there. Like you got to demonstrate like what your in-country experience is and what you're bringing to the table. It's not about the dollars. It's about what you're bringing. Did I hear that right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because it's highly competitive at the moment. You know, you can have 20 or 30 companies in a process, and it's not just they want discoveries, they want resources, they want people in there that can do the job. So just throwing money at it, it's not exactly what they need. They need the expertise and the track record.
This is general advice and my opinions only. This episode's company has paid me for this interview. I may be long, short, or hold an interest in stocks or CFDs mentioned. Past performance isn't reliable. The interviewee's views are their own, not necessarily mine. LEVRD operates as a corporate authorised representative 00131 8377 under AFSL 548573. You can find our financial services guide via the LEVRD website, link in the show notes.
Righto, bag holders and stop loss haters. We are heading to Saudi Arabia. I don't know how much water's over there at because bloody old Jero James, I'm trying to send him to bloody, where was I sending him the other day? Cote d'Ivoire, mate, Saudi, probably perfect for a bit of waterbore drilling for WA waterbores. You let me know if you need the biggest success out of Geraldton to head to Saudi Arabia because Sierra Nevada Gold is pivoting to Saudi Arabia Gold, you'd say. Adam Oehlman, the new CEO. Welcome to LEVRD, mate.
Hey, matey. Thanks, mate. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, sensational, mate. Much congratulations on the African gold. I'd say quick journey, mate. Tell you what, bloody CEO to a transaction, and now you've had a brief holiday and had another job. Give us a quick rundown of what happened there, mate.
Yeah, like all overnight successes, it was sort of 10 years in the making, both from the company side and mine. So, a bit of a long journey through geology and M&A experiences to sort of use those skills to get a transaction on the corporate side for a junior. So the team in country did a great job putting together that portfolio, and luckily, it was only a matter of time before the market started to realise the emerging market in Cote d'Ivoire, and we really just rode on the coattails of success for players like Taraco and others. And fortunately we found a massive gold system, and Montage saw the value and took it out. So it was probably happened a bit too quick for me, but pretty excited to dive straight into it.
You got the dosh quickly. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Riding on you didn't ride on the coattails. You rode on the Cote d'Ivoire tails.
That's right.
You can use that, mate. Sierra Nevada Gold. I am anticipating a name change coming up, but SNX. I've got it on screen here. God, you would have to be the only green stock in the market today, mate. Up 7%. So it's 7 cents and market cap currently at 34.5 million. But I guess the big pivot that we've seen is that we're going to probably sort of focus on today is the Saudi Arabia transaction. So, mate, take us into it. And I guess first up, why after the transaction with A1G, I assume you either had a holiday or you're getting offered heaps of jobs, and you've picked this one to go to Saudi Arabia. Why? I mean that in a good way.
Yeah, it's a land of immense opportunity. So, I don't do well at sitting still, so I don't think a break was ever on the cards for me. But it's a bit of a funny one. Before I left Hancock Prospecting, I was a part of doing the applications in Saudi. So, it's sort of, I've had my eye on Saudi for quite a number of years. The way that I really like the emerging markets, so similar to Cote d'Ivoire, you've got all of the big operators, all of the infrastructure, everything ready to go in Saudi, and the government's just opening up the doors, lots of incentives, cashback deals. And so it's got all of the recipes for success, particularly on the, if we do find a serious system like we have at As Safra, there's the commercial outcome at the big end. So your Hancocks and Barracks and are already operating. And the thing I love about these markets is the low cost of exploration. So our RC meters dollars are about $35 a meter. Diamond, you're looking at 80. So you can go,
Aussie?
US, sorry.
Oh, US. But even $50 a meter for RC? How good's that? Aussie.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in a position now where our assays are costing more than our RC drilling. So
yeah, right.
But we're onto them about that as well. So once you find a system, the cheaper, the more meters you can get in for the least amount of cash is pretty key to success in my view. And then having that exit at the top end with the other established players. So it's there's a lot of synergies between the way that Saudi's unfolding and where Cote d'Ivoire is now. So we're really the first mover. We've been able to get in there, get a tenement through the bidding process, have it awarded by royal decree, which is at the highest levels, and off the back of that, start drilling and all within a matter of weeks. So we've only officially held the ground for 7 weeks, and we've had 3 rigs spinning and assays to come soon. So we're the ability to move quickly, cheap exploration costs, and first mover advantage is absolutely primed. And that's on the back of African Gold, I wasn't shy of offers. I probably looked at in detail 30 different opportunities, and just the scale and the setup in Saudi is unparalleled, unmatched at the moment. So it's exciting.
God, that would have been a job in itself, looking through 30 companies to figure out which job you want to take.
It was bloody stressful. There's plenty out there at the moment, but once I got my eyes on As Safra, I thought, this is the one. Let's go. So away we went.
Yeah, and look, respect that you've only just been in the job short term, but I have full faith that you are full bottle on everything, mate. So I'm going to hammer you today. So, mate, please explain this awarding of a mine to a company from Saudi Arabia. You alluded to it before. Please explain the process of how you acquire a mining project or a tenement in Saudi Arabia and how Sierra Nevada got it.
Yeah. So one of the things that attracted me to the role was the team. So you've got Simon Lill at the top. Obviously, most of the viewers would know Simon's background and the amazing success he's had. Brett Butland has been absolutely critical for this Saudi pivot. He was instrumental in the Citadel resources delineation of Jabal Sayed, which was sold to Equinox for $1.2 billion. So he's been in country since 2005, and the team that we have in country is his guys from that time as well. So we've got a very experienced, dedicated team with the right connections and the track record now of ability to explore at speed. So all that feeds into the tendering process. So Saudi have set up, the government they've got a FMF, they've got a 2030 vision for the country where they want to move away from hydrocarbons and increase the GDP from tourism and mining. So we're instrumental in that process. Because it's not only just the financial capital that they look at. So originally, companies are putting big dollars forward saying we're going to spend all this money, but they weren't able to sort of back that up. So now the kingdom puts a lot more value on ability to execute. So it's a combination of financial capacity and ability, and that's how we were sort of able to win the tenement. Trading off Brett's great name and his connections in country, and that's just one of the ways that we're able to get tenure, but that's probably the most known.
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like it's like a job interview to acquire a project over there. Like you got to demonstrate like what your in country experience is and what you're bringing to the table. It's not about the dollars. It's about what you're bringing. Did I hear that right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because it's highly competitive at the moment.
Yeah.
You can have 20 or 30 companies in a process, and it's not just they want discoveries, they want resources, they want people in there that can do the job. So just throwing money at it's not exactly what they need. They need the expertise and the track record, and that's what you look at the board. You look at our track record, and that's exactly what we provide. So
yeah, very good. And like, because I saw the announcement on the 30th of March, our years have established a Saudi subsidiary. So is like that just for the purpose of it's an in-country company that solely operates in there with what local workforce? How does all that work?
Yeah, exactly. So there's the push into resources is also to stimulate the economy internally. So they don't just want the end product result. They want the regions to prosper, similar to that we have in Australia. So if we set up as a part of the tendering and business process, you set up a Saudi company and you've got Saudi employees and you're fully compliant. And it took us a very short amount of time. Some people are taking years to set this up. So, but it's all pretty. They've done a great job at the whole process and setting it up. But yeah, we're fully compliant, and with that comes the ability to get the rebates. So they, on top of low cost of exploration, they also have not tax incentives, like actual refunds. So for every dollar you put into the ground, you have the opportunity to get 75-80% back.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, okay. And how ownership? How much does SNX own the whole project at the moment? Does that change in future? What's the long-term pathway of how that all works in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, everything's on the table. So we own it 100% now. We're able to fund aggressive exploration. We've got a nice head start on that, and as we go, we'll get the tax, we'll get the credits back, etc. So we could look to joint venture for cornerstone. Everything's open in Saudi in terms of the way you want to structure and ownership of your tenements and commercialize them.
Yeah. Okay. So what you said, you went through about 30 odd companies. No offense to the other 29. I'm sure yous are all right. You just didn't. You just weren't good enough for Adam Oehlman. That's all right. Mate, before we get into what is there at the moment at As Safra, what were the big things that attracted you? Was it the geological model or the potential geological model, or was it the Saudis, the potential within Saudi Arabia as an emerging district for ASX companies to potentially benefit from?
Yeah, it was both. So the overlying thematic of cheap operating costs, underexplored geological terrain, limited ability, limited stories in the market for people to play in, sort of an emerging jurisdiction. That's like the overall thematic that drew me in. But then also, in my time at Oz Minerals in the M&A team, I looked at copper projects globally. When I was at Hancock, I've looked at copper projects globally. So I'm very much bullish on the copper thematic, and how I know how difficult it is to get onto high quality copper projects. So when I was sort of evaluating these companies, it was really coming down to a copper and gold thematic, and in an emerging market, and this was the best opportunity that I saw.
Yeah, so and I've got it up on screen here. So is the only historic drill results what we're seeing here? So like the 5 metres at 4.07% copper at 122, 24 at 1.69, 7 at 2.21, and 10 metres at 1.13, and then you've got some rock chip sampling up to 244 grams per tonne gold and 11% copper. Is that pretty much the data that you've got at the moment from an assay point of view?
Yeah, so there was 6 holes drilled in the 60s by the French BRGM survey. So they were sort of tasked by the kingdom to map the geological prospectivity of the whole shield. So they've gone in, did initial works, identified that there's a system there, and sort of moved on. And not much has happened since. And fortunately for us, we're able to sort of get a head start, and we know there was ancient workings on the surface, which was the indicator for the French to drill these holes, and they've sort of backed them up at depth, and now we're in there doing a 5,000 meter program and sort of really starting to explore what it could be.
Yeah. Okay. So that is those assays. Do you have access to the to the old core, or do they need to be validated, or they've got to be twinned to see if those old results actually are that?
Yeah, we are doing a bit of QA/QC with the current program in terms of confirming the historic results, but we're pretty confident in their accuracy.
Take us through what's going on at the moment, mate. You said like you've started the 5,000 metre program now. Take us into what the program entails. What are we, RC, Diamond, how's it looking? And what are you targeting?
Yeah, so we're sort of drilling the southern copper portion. That's where we're focusing on at the moment to really back up the data that we previously that the French did, so it's really a mix of definitive technical work as well as confirmation. And then phase 2 is that will be the big one where we're putting 15,000 meters in and drilling aggressively and really getting into the system.
Yeah. Okay. So, and look, I assume early on, God, maybe not today with bloody gold being at 3,900, the bloody bastard of a thing. But is that copper gold zone that we see in the middle there around the red circle, is that going to be the primary focus? Not looking at the silver, lead, zinc zones. Just they're going to be potential later on.
Yeah, copper's very much the focus, and there'll be gold credit uplift. You look at we've got almost 400 square kilometres, and it's clearly a large hydrothermal system. So you've got these potential for large lead zinc deposits, further copper. It's very underexplored outside of this known ancient workings and drill results.
So that 5,000 metre program, so you'll get what? How many? 20 to 50 holes like there, because they're all going to be pretty shallow, I assume.
Yeah, 20 to 30. We're putting some deeper ones in. There's as short as 75 and sort of as deep as we've got one 400 metre hole in, and we're testing sort of a 2 kilometre section of the southern. So we're sort of working on confirming the known and extending a little bit as well to the south.
Yeah, right. So is have you got anything other than that historic stuff to work with, like any geophys or anything like that?
Yeah, so we've just done the geophys, so we're waiting, and that was sort of we're still working through cleaning that up and being able to use that, as well as the geochemical stuff. So this first program is really just sort of setting the baseline. We know it's there, and now we're just getting all of the data so we can properly target it and expand it. And the next program is going to be much larger. And once we start that, we probably won't stop drilling.
Yeah, because I see you got that you got the IP anomaly, the chargeability anomaly. So I assume that's the best information you got to poke some holes bloody near that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, mate, balance sheet wise and funding for the program, like post transaction and everything, just give us a scope of what you got at the moment and what's your runway with what you've got for drilling.
Yeah, so we've got most of the expenditure for the current programs has been expensed. We're sort of 70% of the way through there. And then we'll have the refunds in July next year for the work that we've done now. We're sort of sitting at that 4 to 5 million in the tin at the moment, but given the exploration cost and everything's set up, we've got all of the, we've got the buildings, the core shed, the soil, everything's sort of ready to go. We can get pretty far along, and there's a lot of sort of non-dilutive commercial pathways on offer as well. So at the moment, we're just focused on getting the runs on the board, the results out, and the rest will take care of itself.
Let's speak of potential non-dilutive pathways, mate. The Nevada assets, we'll finish on that. I guess that's what Sierra Nevada Gold was originally before this Saudi Arabia asset coming to the portfolio. What is everything on the table there also? Are you looking to keep both projects, and Saudi's potentially the core with the most potential? How are you seeing it in your early days in the seat?
Yeah, the view for us is to be a dedicated Saudi explorer. We're going, in addition to As Safra, we will be adding more tenements and more projects that will, be quite exciting. Nevada is, I mean, the holding costs of these assets are very low, and there's no minimum expenditure, so we're not in a rush to sort of fire sale them off by any means.
Yeah.
But we are definitely looking at sort of rationalising the portfolio. Prior to adding Saudi in. The quality and the size of the projects in Nevada are probably too big for one company. So, Warrior, there's companies listed that are sort of 30 mil market cap in Nevada that have got, not even a quarter of what Warrior is. So the team's done a great job of pulling together some really sizable, exciting projects in the US. And we'll look to figure out the best commercial outcome for those.
Yeah, not when once gold's 5,000, mate. That's a better time to do it than 3,900.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's right. Interesting, mate. That's been a good bloody good overview, and nothing like being put in the pressure cooker only a few weeks into the job, mate. But sensational. So I appreciate that you just haven't picked this. Oh, Saudi looks cool. It's interesting the history you've had in the region from the Hancock days, and it sounds like it was a bit of an itch to scratch for you to get a hold of something like this.
Yeah, it's a massive opportunity. And it just kept popping back up, and sort of it's too good to say no. So I think, watch this space in Saudi for sure.
Yeah, that's like some of the bloody stocks I keep buying. I can't stop buying them and losing money on them. They just can't get over it until Oh, very good, mate. Adzi, mate, congratulations on both the A1G success, the new gig, and, mate, wishing you all the best in Saudi. Enjoy the flights over there. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm over on the 9th of July, so I'm itching to get out to sites and get into Riyadh and Jeddah, and it's there's a lot going on. So I appreciate your support, mate.
No worries, mate. I don't know if I'll come on a site visit or not, but
mate, it's gonna. We'll get you there.
Oh, you can't drink. It's all dry over there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, I assume I can't vape there either. No, don't take me. No hope. Right, Ads, have a good weekend, mate. Great to have you on LEVRD.
Too easy. Thanks, mate.